Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we've got a movement speed build for you. We're actually playing it on the Samurai because we've got a way to look at every single skill or every character's ascensions, and we've got the Sentinel, the Assassin, the Barbarian, and then the Samurai, who all have scaling for movement speed in their kits. But I thought, the Samurai with skill mastery thrust will be quite fun to do. So we're doing that. The ruins will also be in the description if you want to take a look at them or don't know what it is that I'm playing with. But there's a quick hover over what it is that we're using. Let's get straight into it. Unfortunately, this build cannot do Sigil of Hate plus 10. So just for funsies, we're going to do it on the Sigil of the Void. There's just not enough damage coming from the skills. And the way that the skill scales, Quick Strike scales, because it scales off of movement speed, you can only get so much of it before you completely bonked out or you don't know what you're doing. So, we'd have to take that into consideration. This is more of a fun meme build, not meme, but meme build, where you just have fun with it. You mess around, you get like mock speed, and you have a good time. But it's not meant to do heart and level. You might be able to get to like +2, +3, but you definitely can't do +10. Again, like I mentioned, I tested it. Our damage just isn't there quick enough to warrant the amount of effort you have to put in to get the skills and to get everything else that you need. So we'll see. We don't need our rage. We need the movement speed. We don't need you. We'll take the block. Double slash for now. We just got to take swing skills, and we're going to take ourselves some more thrust skills as well, and we even got the option of grabbing up Bloodlust, which is going to be fantastic because that's even more movement speed. So we can run a whole bunch of buffs on the skill where we run Bloodlust as well as Sugar Rush, and we've got those that will scale as well because we've got Divine Legacy and they are physical skills along with every other skill that we have. We are able to scale them quite nicely because of that. So we'll see what happens. But there we go, there's Quick Strike, and we got the Bloodlust, so that's fantastic. Increase the damage bonus while Rage Spirit is active. We will grab that, and the reason we can grab it as well is just because we are going to be able to get the additional upgrades from it. So because we're going to be using it quite often, it just makes sense to get that additional damage from it, is what I was trying to say. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought there for some reason. But yeah, so we will take the rage damage because, again, we want the movement speed from our ascension, so therefore we will be grabbing our ascension quite often. Alright, haste to finesse, we will grab that. Form to haste, we will grab that. We're definitely going to have a whack ton of it. Increase our damage, increase again. And then we don't need bleed, so we're going to get rid of that. We don't need ravenous cut either, so as soon as I find fragility, the heartrending strike, we will swap it out, and then Sugar Rush instead of worn daggers, just because we will hit 1,000 stacks of haste, and then we're going to need Sugar Rush to get us even higher into the haste stacking over there. So we'll see the movement stacking, not haste stacking. Haste has a cap of 1,000, so we need that movement speed. Alright, beautiful. Of course, we are grabbing movement speed, area of effect first. We do scale finesse very, very well here as well, which is going to increase the damage of our slice and dice as well. And then we just hit level 25, which is fantastic. So now we're going to look for the damage increase as well as swing to thrust. So beautiful. Again, 50%, so it goes from 28.56 all the way to 38 and 76. So that's quite a lot of movement speed, quite a lot of cast frequency as well. And that's why we probably don't use the worn daggers either, because we land up reducing a lot of the we get a whack ton of cast frequency, and because cast frequency currently until the next update, too much cast frequency actually bricks these weapons, so we don't want too much of it. So there we go, there's heartrending strike, get more cast frequency on Bloodlust, beautiful, more swing to thrust, We're only sitting at 6.1. We just need that sugar rush. As soon as we get the sugar rush, we'll be in an absolutely superb state. And we'll have everything. Sugar rush is again going to get rid of the worn daggers. Just dunk on all these enemies. There we go. Beautiful. I only got one level, which means that we have been picking up quite a lot of the XP already. However, we don't have any of it. Sorry, I didn't have that activated either. So I actually upgraded my PC yesterday, so a lot of my settings and everything have changed. And literally, I might sound different today than what I have every other time. And that's because I had to reorganize my OBS. But it is what it is. And we're back. Okay, so now we need Aruanak. Aruanak is going to give us haste on crit. It also gives us crit and movement speed, so we've got that option. We really, it depends on our, I mean, we're sitting on 200% critical strike chance, so we'll definitely get the haste stacking over there. We do have Synergetic as well, which means like all those haste on crit and things like that actually give us additional stacks or percentage chances of occurring. And we should be good in terms of damage now as well, because we've got a whack ton of area of effect. So that was the point for that as well. Here is our ascension. Let's get that juicy movement speed. And we've gone up to 10.4 times damage. What are we looking for? There we go. Finally, we get the sugar rush. Okay, so swing to thrust damage. Beautiful. We don't need more critical strike chance. We can grab that. We can skip active skills now. Grab ourselves some magnetics. Grab ourselves damage on there. We don't need damage there. We don't need powerful strikes. We'll take a magnetic and then the cast frequencies and things like that. Ooh, we do get a beautiful critical strike upgrade. I mean, aptitude upgrade there. So we don't have aptitude on any skills. So getting it over there is big. That's a lot of damage increase. And you can see now, oops, it's becoming very difficult to already control our character. But this makes it so that things do go a lot faster. We're going to be able to zoom through the map like a crazy person. Swing to Chaos is actually also very good. So Bloodlust will occur every so often. We probably don't need the cast frequency for it anymore. And another thing about that as well is if we get enough potency, it's going to reduce its own cast frequency down to a decent amount. So as soon as we get enough of that, we'll be in a much better spot. I do want to lock this. I don't want to swing to... do you know what? We'll take it. Grab a bit of damage over there and more movement speed. Okay, everything's up already. We're on 11.9 times damage on quick strike. But this is the point, you know. Even though the skill is scaling off movement speed, we have a whack ton of movement speed. The scaling isn't that great. I think some of these skills need to be reworked. They're really falling behind in the meta. I think that they don't need damage number buffs. They just need their damage scaling buffed, if that makes sense. So the amount of damage multiplier you get per point of movement speed or whatever the case is needs to go up. I don't feel like it is high enough compared to some of the other characters using like finesse stacking or things like that. I mean, we're only on 16 times damage over there, and it's only 1,144 damage. So it's quite crazy. And also you land up losing a lot of control. So the weighting of, you know, using a lot of movement speed versus the amount of damage you're dealing with it also needs to be taken into consideration. So I mean, that's my 2 cents as a player of 800 plus hours. I don't know what you guys think about it. You can let me know down in the comment section, but I definitely feel like boosting the damage based on point of movement speed will definitely make a massive difference to the skill itself. We don't need area of effect for any of this stuff, so we can actually banish it. And then we don't need your cast frequency. Ooh, aptitude to prowess, we'll take that. Grab the damage. We want some movement speed, increased damage. And by getting rid of other upgrades, we're also going to start seeing more potency upgrades and things like that as well. So that's going to be great. Alright, let's see how many stacks of finesse and everything we actually get during the fight. Because it does make a difference to the outcome of everything. So we get to about 200. And also movement speed wise, we're only on 550. So that gives us 12 times damage. But that's without our ascension. Alright, so we could grab slow, but we don't need that. We do need, you know, more crit. Obviously, only having 200% plus is not good enough. So let's grab ourselves a more crit. Actually, let's just reroll once. Every time you cause a crit, you have a chance to gain haste. That's a 1% chance, so we'll grab that one first. Don't you worry, we will be coming back for that movement speed as well. And then we are going to grab... I mean, aptitude's nice. No, it has to be exposed. So it'll be exposed, and then we'll go grab some more movement speed and crit from Aruanak after this. Alright, but there you go. As you can see, we can absolutely shred movement speed wise. We are banging. Was the area of effect bugged before in the last round? Because now it feels like we have so much more area of effect. Alright, our movement speed is 895. 895 movement speed, and we only go to 19 times the damage. So you'll see after this, it's not actually even quick strike doing all the damage, and that's my point. We need to have some way of making it stronger. Area of effect doesn't matter, just more cast frequency, more merciless being the main damage source, obviously grabbing that. We can go multicasting. We don't need cast frequency anymore on that, so we got to make sure we just grab potencies. We can't actually get rid of it anymore. Damage increase, damage, potency, beautiful. We'll just grab, oh my goodness, double area of effect, legendary over there. Swing to thrust is beautiful. Again, we don't need the cast frequencies. And I'm stuck. Alright, let's see. We just got to lower it down to 20% visibility just so we can see the red on the floor everywhere. Grab ourselves some block. But yeah, as you can see, we're in a very good spot. Okay, we've got this going. I think we landed up defeating that enemy before we ran out of the way. But there we go. We still got all of our stacks, so we still got decent movement speed until we don't have decent movement speed. We don't need the duration. Block is always decent to grab. Damage, of course. Health, damage. Get that to 0.2. Why not? Actually, it might be able to get to 0.2 because of Bloodlust itself as well. So we do need to keep that in mind. 200% increased cast frequency on everything. So take a look at that, like 0.7, 0.6. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it goes to 0.4, 0.3. Massive amounts of increases over there. And there's no way you'll ever catch me, Mhyzahet. Beautiful, but definitely not the damage coming from that skill. Or maybe it is. I thought I picked this up. We're going to grab exposed. Beautiful. And then we go to Aruanak for even more movement speed and even more critical strike chance. So Aruanak. I would like my Ascension to pop up. Need to wait for all these bombs to disappear. There we go. We actually have 10 levels still. We can still grab even more movement speed because why not? That just makes so much sense. Damage for thrust and damage for swing, both are very good. We get the multicasting, we'll grab that, and more cast frequency. It's now down to 0.2 seconds on those, not 0.2 seconds on the quick strike, which is unfortunate. It does make a difference, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We can't really do much about that. Alright, we are on 1,500. So only 32%. And that's what I'm talking. I mean, look at our movement speed. It's absolutely bonkers. But even with all this movement speed, we don't get the additional damage, unfortunately. And we might even have more. But the problem is your movement speed scales slowly. I don't know if that got changed long ago. I haven't done a... Actually, you can see that it ramps up. So as you're moving, and then it starts to give you that additional movement speed. So it does actually still do it like that. You can't just go 0 to 100 in 0.1 seconds, unfortunately. Okay, cast frequency, block power, mercilesses are good. Potency over there. I don't think we need more cast frequency here, but damage will take. Potency, just getting more and more cast frequency there. Increased damage. I mean, if we look at the skill breakdown, slice and dice, definitely dealing far more damage. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way that this build has to work. Because quick strike just doesn't do enough damage in the beginning until you've got everything set up. So yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Luckily we don't have to actually move to deal damage to the bosses. Okay, 40% increased movement speed. So our base movement speed right now, let's just wait for that to disappear. We're sitting at 7.8 times damage. And it goes up by 4 times or more. As soon as we start moving. So I mean, our base movement speed is very, very nice compared to other characters. I have a feeling we're going to get really stuck here though. And then we get some upgrades. It's up to 18, 20, 21, 22. It's just going to keep going. We don't have a lot of haste, actually. Even though we're critting, we're not getting a lot of haste stacks. So there's still a lot of movement speed that could have been got, which we didn't get. That can still be lowered as well. Only 23. How did we get higher? Oh, our ascension. Okay, we'll see once we get our ascension. So there we go. We're currently on 23 times. And then we go up to 36. So our ascension is pumping up that movement speed. 50%. Yup. Can't even... No, we don't want you guys. Ugh. There's no way you're gonna catch me. Okay, finesse to bulwark, go HP, more movement speed. More damage and multicast over everything else. Some potency for the movement speed. That damage increase just increased our movement speed substantially. So it increased our movement speed on the Bloodlust. It increased our movement speed on the Sugar Rush. It was a lot of movement speed increase, which is great. We're just picking up Merciless upgrades. I really thought the haste on crit would have come through a lot more, but being only 1%, I guess, it kind of has a limit to it. But there we go, 304% on that, 136% on that. It all adds up. At least we can get out of danger really quickly. Prowess stacks. There is a movement speed here, isn't there? Yeah, there we go. Damage, movement speed, and additional dash. 961. All we need is movement speed from our Ascension now, as soon as it decides to pop up. I don't think we're going to get the opportunity for it to pop up though. Maybe we will. Doesn't feel like it, unfortunately. Alright, well, there you have it. A decent chunk of damage done. It was a decent run, a decent time, but that was mostly slice and dice. So let me know what you guys think about it. Definitely mostly slice and dice. Even hitting far more times. Although, I mean, if you take that into consideration, you times that by 3, it's still dealing double the damage actually. So yeah, far better skill, but that's why you can't do it on higher Titan levels, but it's still really fun to get yourself to 2000 movement speed and move like a rocket. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.